Something that's too good to be true, but actually true. That's what you get with this work, with this commitment. But this commitment is the biggest commitment by far you can make in your life. There's nothing that compares. And the trick is being able to see, being able to appreciate why this is a commitment you should be willing to make. See, here's the fact about the situation. All that's good in your life that you perceive as good, all that you perceive as the things that bring you peace, everything you consider a positive in your life pales in comparison to what this level of goodness will bring you in terms of deconstructing yourself within and becoming more aligned with the universe. The truth is, everything you see and what you experience and what you interface with day to day and what entertains you and what keeps you engaged is, it's obviously illusory, but it's so weak in comparison to what's on the other side, what's being offered, if we want to, that's how you want to phrase it, being offered, but what's available to you. All right, because all that you consider beautiful, those highest peak points in your life, this could become a part of your everyday experience. And in terms of whatever you feel you're missing, if you feel like you're not creative enough in your creative endeavors, well, you will have creativity in spades. If you feel you're unable to express love how you want to express love, you will be able to express love in spades. You will have an infinite well in which you can draw from to express love. This also is true in terms of your ability to understand, your ability to, well, being present will just be an automatic. All this comes from being present. You're as present as can possibly be. Everything, and I engage in these things too, but everything that isn't work on deconstructing yourself within and becoming more conscious, the truth of it is, it's all just a distraction. It's a distraction. The question is, how distracted do you allow yourself to get? How much time do you spend with these distractions, engaging with these distractions? This could be in the form of going to the bar or the club with your friends, going to the movies, sitting back at home, watching movies, binging shows. And once again, look, I'm a culprit of this too. There's shows I enjoy, there's movies I watch, but you have to ask yourself, how much time are you putting into certain things? How much time are you giving to yourself in terms of going within and deconstructing? I'm looking around here because the area I'm at right now, there's wasp nests, and so they'll be like just buzzing around, and I'm out here barefoot. But in terms of what's available, here's something I could describe to you. You think you see a thing in terms of you see a tree, you see the sky, you see the clouds, you see a car, you see other people. But what begins to happen as you deconstruct more and more within, and the illusion that is your life becomes undone, and you're getting a real glimpse and really becoming connected with reality, what starts to happen, instead of seeing these things, you start to feel these things. You're fusing with these things. So these things start to feel so much more real to you. They start to feel like you because you are becoming one with them. And what simultaneously happens as this is happening is there's this peace and this calm and this tranquility that's swelling up within you. And the more you do this work, the more intense, the stronger that tranquility, that peace becomes. And this is permanent. This is permanent. See, what a person gets in terms of getting high, if they're smoking weed, or if they're going to the club and drinking, or at home drinking, this will make it where you won't want to have anything to do with that, because that can't compare to what this brings you. You can walk around and you can feel high out of your mind, but in the most positive way. Not high where you're incapacitated, where you're unaware, where your judgment is off and other people are looking at you like you're crazy. So it's all part of the trick. It's can you take life seriously enough to not get too pulled in by the distractions, where you look up one day and you realize that it's over. It's too late. You don't have time anymore to get it together. Because the worst thing is to figure this out too late, to take it seriously too late. I feel like I've taken this seriously later than I would have liked to, but I can say that in the last 5.5 years plus, I've been on this journey and I've been committed to this, and I haven't missed a day. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I didn't make it into my senior years and then realize, oh, this is what I should have been doing all along. And this peace and this goodness, in terms of how you feel it, you can feel it as it grows and it grows and it grows. You realize there's a potential to be able to, you can feel it in your feet. You can feel it in your stomach. You can feel it in your heart. You can feel it in your throat. You can feel it in your head. I think you can even feel it in your eyes. I think you can feel it throughout your entire body when you're really, really getting connected. I mean, that tranquility isn't just something, that peace isn't just something that's felt in your mind, not being clouded with a bunch of thoughts that you don't want to be bogged down with. No, you feel this pleasurable, and I could say sensation, but it feels like so much more than sensation. Sensation, the word sensation seems to minimize it, but this infinite well of energy that you begin to feel is something that I believe there's the potential to feel in every part of your body. And I say that because I felt it in areas, of my body where it's like, wow, that's weird. I'm feeling this blissful type of sensation in my feet. Really, my feet? So it is way beyond what you can comprehend. It's way beyond what you can fathom. It's you have to really understand. You literally can't imagine what it feels like. You can't really get a real sense until you start to actually open up your mind, and then your imaginative powers become strengthened, and with that you start to get a better sense of what is possible with this. But what's crazy about it is it goes much further than even what you're going to be able to get a sense of when your mind does start to open and you're able to better imagine the possibilities in terms of where this can go. This is the juice of life. This is what it's about. Everything else is just a poor facsimile. It's imitation of what you actually want, because in all those physical things, what you're doing is you're essentially getting the most fleeting, the most ephemeral vapors. You're getting a whiff that's barely existent. This is something that can electrify your whole body, your whole existence, minute to minute. And the people around you will feel it. They're not going to consciously know what's going on, but you'll get a sense of when it's good for you, because you're going to see how other people are around you and how the environments are around you too. This is the most powerful way to be able to utilize the law of attraction in your life, because in terms of utilizing the law of attraction in your life, when you're coming from a place where you've done enough work within, where you've so thoroughly broken up a lot of the energetic blocks, then from one thing to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, you're able to attract, and you do it so easily and effortlessly, you barely even notice you're doing it. And at its peak, whatever you want, it's yours. I'm not coming from a place of saying I've reached the highest levels of being able to attract. I haven't, but there has been a lot of interesting things that I have been attracting into my life, and situations that have been very favorable and just awesome experiences, and the synchronicities are off the charts too. But people are dealing with different levels, varying degrees of energetic blockages, and in terms of their environment, that's an extreme difficulty as well, you know, that a person, that different people have to overcome. It's different for everybody, but it's a very individualistic journey. It's up to the individual. You can get a lot of solid pieces, bits and pieces of information from different people, different videos, different books, but you as an individual have to be able to decipher between what's best for you, what's not, and utilize all the best tidbits accordingly. And this right here, this is a wonderful thing, is you want to become more comfortable with the silence. I'm walking barefoot over rocks and sticks and stuff. It's dumb of me to do, but I'm doing it nonetheless. And I'm making sure that there's not like a low-flying wasp, because we got wasp around here, so me looking down has to do with that. But yeah, becoming more comfortable with the silence that's such a wonderful thing. And you notice a lot of my videos, I may be talking pretty fast and going from one thing to the next, but I'm as comfortable with the silence as I've ever been. And it's this comfort, and I should say even this familiarity with the silence, because now I'm so familiar with it because I've spent so much time in silence, that it's opened my mind up in a way where I'm able to speak more quickly on one topic to the next and just express myself more freely. But this comfort with silence silence goes so deep, and it's such a wonderful experience to just allow that silence to linger. You get comfort in the simpler things without having to try to do it. People like to fancy themselves spiritual, or they fancy the idea of aspiring to be spiritual. Take all the concept out of it. I use the word spiritual a lot in these videos, but think of it in terms of truth with a capital T. Absolute truth. You're talking about when you take away all that's false, what remains. What you're doing is getting connected to absolute truth. And the absolute truth cuts deeper into the fabric of what reality is than this concept of spirituality. I saw this documentary about this woman who was opening yoga studios, and she essentially started a cult. And I know there's stuff like this going on all over the world. A lot of people creating cults, spiritual cults, and it's all about money, and they're not developed at all, and they cosplay as someone who's highly spiritually realized, but they have no control over their emotions. they're not in touch with who they really are. They don't have a true sense of who other people are or what other people need, and they can't see outside of their own needs. You have some of the selfish, most unconscious people that become spiritual leaders and open these yoga studios or meditation centers. I'm not saying this is in general for the people who open meditation studios or yoga studios. I'm talking about for the people that are corrupt that happen to do that. It's amazing to me that they manage to pull it off and people are not able to see through it. I want to get a sense if someone's at peace, if they really do this work. And this is maybe hard for anyone to do, but talk to them. Look them in their eyes. See if you could get a sense of peace and calm that emanates from them when you talk to them. What's that sense you get when you talk to them, when you really talk to them? Or just look at them when they are speaking to other people for a more prolonged period of time. What do you pull from it? What do you sense? Do you really sense anything that's tranquil within, anything that's serene? Do you sense calm? Do you sense ease? Do you sense detachment? I think when you put enough time into this work and you develop yourself enough, I think the signs become inescapable. It's something you can't avoid seeing if you know what to look for. It's just there. For the people who are trying to discern who's real and who's not, just look at them. Look at how they speak about a thing. Look at, more so pay attention to the how instead of the what. And I know anybody could, put on a hell of an acting job, but do you sense an inner calm within the person that you're listening to that's imparting advice? And does the person spend a lot of time bigging themselves up? That's definitely something that I would see as red flag in terms of someone who may be spiritually realized. You feel calm and at ease within. There's not this need to just big yourself up like you're this, you're that. And you should get a sense from them that they're always looking out for the people around them, not just in terms of the advice they give, but they're not so quick to try to take and use. I've noticed cult leaders who make people work crazy hours, who manipulate them and scam them out of their money, engage in all types of fraud. Does that person talk to you, or do they talk to the people around them as if they feel and sense the oneness between them, the oneness in everyone? When the person talks to you, or when they talk to someone, when you're watching them talk to someone, do they talk to that person as if they intuit the God that's in them, that they are so aware is within themselves? If it doesn't seem like that, well, they might be full of shit because they don't really have a sense of the God in themselves. If you don't have a sense of the God in you, it's going to be very, 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 very difficult. Well, let's keep it a buck. It's going to be impossible to see the God in someone else. I say to look out for these things. It doesn't mean that it's easy, but really just get a sense of that person through their posture, and overall, just do they seem calm and at ease? If they seem uptight, and you have to be able to look through what may be an act, like Because when someone really puts time into this work, the effect on them, the effect that it has on them, that's not something that can be faked. Anyway, that's a tangent. I'm telling you what to look out for with these scam artists. Don't just believe a person, and don't depend on a person in terms of your own spiritual development and happiness and peace. You can learn from them. That's okay. Okay, but you have to be able to trust your own intuition. I would say anybody listening to me, don't put me on a pedestal at all. I'm not special. I'm just communicating my perspective and sharing my experiences and trying to get people amped up about getting connected, because being connected to source, being connected to the true reality is the truth is words can only fail me in terms of truly expressing just how big this thing is, the sheer weight of it. Yeah, I'm doing my best here in terms of these descriptions, but it's going to obviously be sorely limited. What I'm talking about, the ultimate reality, is it is beyond comprehension. It is what you would consider too good to be true, but something that is very much true. It's actually the truest thing there is. Absolute truth is something that goes beyond intellectualism, goes beyond concepts, goes beyond traditional understanding, goes beyond indoctrination. It goes beyond what you've been told in the mainstream. It goes beyond religion. It's beyond Jesus. It's beyond the Buddha. Absolute truth is beyond everything. It is beyond this world. It is beyond your birth. It is beyond the birth of your parents. It is beyond the concept of yourself, the concept of your parents, the concept of a human, the concept of any living being. Absolute truth, the truth of it all, truth with a capital T, is beyond anything you can even begin to imagine, any concept you can have of a thing. Even if you think you got a fraction of 1% of an understanding of what absolute truth is, you're not even close. You're not even close. You're not even close. Whatever idea you have in terms of what absolute truth is, you'll always be way off the mark, and that's okay. The fullest understanding of absolute truth comes from a place of being one with it, not in a place of intellectually understanding it. There is a point where you can get far enough in this work where you'll become addicted to this work, where you'll want to just continue and amp up your routine and continue forward, because what you're opening up to feel within yourself is so divine, and it's so beyond any concept you have of good and love and peace. But you have to get to that point. It's up to you as an individual, as I've said. You have to want it, and if you don't want it, you have to find a way to make yourself want it. It is worth it. You don't want to wait too long. There's many more than just one technique to get there too. And by the way, just because you hear someone talking about spirituality and all that, doesn't mean they're serious about it. It doesn't mean that they're giving sound advice. It doesn't mean they're not giving sound advice, but always compare and contrast. Check out multiple sources. There's nothing wrong with that. And most of all, be willing to use your intuition as your guiding light. That's the ultimate guiding light. Of course, your intuition will often be distorted based on your own egoic, your own egoic nature, the blocks within. But that, you want to get a better connection and a clearer, more powerful intuition, then you're going to need to undo those blocks. And yes, you got to put the work in to do that. And it's a lifetime commitment. Everything you want and more is on this path. Even if it seems like it's not, even if you're convinced it's not, even if you think this thing is more important. No. Simply put, make these be the rules of your life. Make these the rules. Have these as the rules in your life. Keep yourself alive. Keep your children alive. And commit for your lifetime to consciousness work, to becoming awake at all cost. Anyway, I am out. Till next time.